Soxl tank today. We ended the day at $19.23, down a whopping 12.39%, and this is why I am interested in this ticker. This is where we ended. To the north side takes us to the middle of the trend and the baseline, and one level of resistance and a potential take profit area as well, and that is 1976. Above that, ignore all the other horizontal lines. This line is 2 standard deviations, and that is roughly 2157. We've been to this area before. That will take us to 2245, and at 4 standard deviations, but don't hold your breath, we will definitely not get to this level on Friday. But if we do and we wick up to that level, you can expect a sell-off as people take their profits and they run, they will lock in and they will leave. And that is roughly 23.35. Down the road, we could definitely get there. But right now, we have been bleeding out. Now, to the south side, -2 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area, 1799. 1709 back to an area we've been retracing here if we get that low, and 1620. But don't hold your breath for price to get to this level. -2 and 2 standard deviations all day long. Obviously, the calculations will constantly change if you've got the linear on your indicator here. Now, I also turned on the buy and sell bot just so that you could see. This again is your clear sell signal here, here, and here. And the bot got signaled to sell. Plenty of levels in between, many levels of support and resistance, triggering the buy and the sell, but that's not how I play it. I play it much more conservatively because I'm in many trades. But again, that's your clear sell. We didn't quite hit this level, but close enough. Triggered a sell, and on the way down, this turns into support, and we've busted through that level, and then the buy signal came on. This is your clear buy signal here, and up here, your clear sell signal. Now, it's been a while since I've looked at this ticker, but look at this. We've been bleeding out. This is the 5-minute, and I love it. We are at a 52-week low. Could we go lower? Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I've marked out those areas in the past. So I will be taking a closer look at this in the next couple of days to see if it will go lower, and I will buy some. Maybe I'll just put in a buy order here at 17.98 and keep my fingers crossed. But, you know, I've missed out on plenty of trades because I go too low. Now, the 52-week low is $19. We ended the day at $19.23, which is why I love this. I'm a contrarian. And the 52-week high is $70.08. Now, to the daily time frame. Let's take a look at this in the bigger picture. And as you can see, it's been a while. Okay, the RSI is turning down, and it's still going down. These two lines have not crossed, so I anticipate we bleed out some more. Should we get to -2 standard deviations in the bigger time frame, that's $12.40. Who knows if we'll get there, and then the range to the upside is $30.16. Obviously, there are other levels, but I'm not going to give it to you because we're not even close. Now, I've cleaned up many of these gaps to the downside, so congrats if you played them to the downside. If you went short when we were long and then went short, but I really should do this on the 5-minute. It's not going to line up, but this is just going to give me a close idea. All right, this one took me down to 32.18. This one took us down to 31.48. This one is done. That's done at 31.25. This one is done taking us, wait, nope, it looks like it did, but I don't think so. See that? I made it larger and it did not. It touched right here though. And that was on Tuesday, November 12th of 2024, we closed that gap up, and then we opened it on November the 6th. So yeah, this has been forever since I've gone back and cleaned up this ticker. I know my dad was in this previously. 29.46. This one took us down to 28.24. This one took us down to 27.13. You see that one's not lining up. That should have touched her right there. Taking us to 29.57. Again, I have to do this on the time frame that I mark these out originally because it's going to be wonky. Look at that. So in order to do that, I've already given you the price targets for the daily. Oh, so this target is going to take us to $21.95. Turn that. Okay, again, ignore all those other lines. We got as far as this level, but we didn't close out, so that is still in play to the upside. But if you just go left, so we had this gap that touched on February 21st. Oops. That took us down to 28.61, and then we bounced a little bit. Ooh, look at this huge gap that I never marked out that we hit. Wow, nice, 32.70-ish. Okay, that's done, and then this one touched, oh, that would have been right here. That took us down to 28.25, and then, let me just mark this out because then you'll see what I mean. So we gapped down. So we filled to the upside, but this gap touched right here, closed it out to the downside at 30.41. So we went down, so this is going to reverse up, and we did right there. Oh, wait, did we touch it? No, this is still in play. Nice. So that's a long ways off, but that will take us back to an area we've already been. We're just giving it all back now. 32.65. Again, go back, clean all these up. All right. Oh, what is this? So that's a gap right here that started on November 11th of 2024. Oh, okay. It closed. All right, that's done. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. I've spent too much time on Soxl. I'm going to go over a trade at the end that I did for myself. But first, Archer Daniels Midland Company. This is the 5-minute time frame. We're at resistance, okay? So keep this in mind. You know what happens at resistance. Look at this. RSI already started to crack because we're at this level. This is a critical area. To the north side will take us to 48.46, and this is still close enough in the realm. 49.06, we could see a bounce later on, but right now it's still shedding down. But we could go down, bounce off of support, and then go back up again. But the middle of the trend now takes us to roughly 46.56 to the south side, 45.31, 44.70, and 44.06. Note the buy signal and the clear sell signal, the lines that I play. On the way up, it becomes resistance, and the bot came on for a sell. Your sell signal, all resistance, and then your buy signal. So this gap is still in play to the north side. That will take us to 49.48. And then we have a bigger gap up here. Oh my gosh, did it touch? No. All right, so that bigger gap will take us to Oops. I have to get it. Oh, I have to move this and then be off of that line. Otherwise, it will get wonky. Okay, 55.20. The 1-year price target is 49.60. 49.60. Wow, we're getting close. 49.98 here. 60 is right there. And because this is a dangling gap here, of course it's going to hit this, not necessarily the day that we hit this, and sometimes we get close to it and then we just fall apart. That could happen too. But eventually this gap will get closed. Now I'm going to show you the daily, because when I last tracked this ticker, we were at $60.08. So we have fallen big time. So we were here. Wait, I gotta get this right here. 60.08 right there. Went as high as, oh my gosh, this thing is wonky because I have the magnet on. Let me turn my magnet off. So we went as high as almost 10%, 9, here, to be precise, 60.08, and then that high is 65.78. So that is a 9.49% return. So congrats if you did that, and that's your sell signal, and then we bled down. Not so hot there. All right, and then we've got this gap still in play, so nice. Long ways off, don't hold your breath. Just something to look forward to. That gap closed out. And what do we have on the daily for your range? So we have here to the upside will take us to roughly 50.58. To the south side, 41.55. Now the RSI is turning up. On the weekly, it's also got plenty of room to move. Oh, what did I track here? I guess back on May 30th when I looked at this, we were at 72.73 for the end of the day. And look, we bled out. But that's opportunity. That is an opportunity to get in. I've wanted to get in on this one. So we're at 44.92 for the low. So we ended the day at 48.06. Okay, the RSI turning up, plenty of room to move. And then this is curling up as well. So that's good news. But we are at support basically on the monthly. So it depends on what time frame you are playing. Okay, that's it for ADM. The next one I want to go over is going to be snow. And look at Palantir down 10%. We've just been all over. It's like a roller coaster. You get in, get up, get out, and then bleeding out. That happened the previous day as well. Okay, this is the 5-minute for snow. I think they had earnings, yeah, right here. So they brought in 986 million. They were only expected to bring in 957 million. That's amazing. Of course, they got rewarded by the stock bleeding out. That's sarcasm there. Of course, people are taking their profits. But right here, I can't not see it when I am the queen of gaps. All right. I'm self-anointed. All right. So we went up. So we're going to fill this to the downside. And we touched. Okay. So that was an expected move to the downside because we went, wait a minute. We went up to then go down. There we go. So we closed out here at 167.49 and then bounced back up. But this gap is no longer in play. Okay, so back to the price targets. I got ahead of myself here. To the north side, 164.07, 172.06, 176.02, and 180-ish 17. And this gap will take us to 177.30, not in the channel to close out, but we could hit here. And that conservatively to the bottom will take us to 168.34. What is the 1-year price target? 211. Nice. It's so expensive though when you're starting at a ticker of $156. So that's the thing that sucks, especially if you trade shares like I do. Yeah, yeah, look at this. The 52-week low, 107.13. So we've climbed even though we've tanked. So let's take a look at this on the daily. It's been a long time since I looked at this. Along with Trader Murat. Look at this, snow down 23% on great Q4. It just bled out. People right here, this is, when you look at this on the daily, it's going to bleed out. I don't care what the news is. We're at resistance. People are going to take their profits, and they did. And then, boom, all the way down here. That is a massive sell-off. But with the sell-off comes the opportunity for people who have not bought in to ride up again. Clear sell. All right, this is the daily, and let me give you the range. So we're at 156.22 to the north side, 198.91, and then back at the middle of the trend on the daily, 137.54. Obviously a better buy. Oh, and this dangling thing right here, this landmine, watch out for it. So if we could hit, I mean, we've already started to fill it, not close it. But if you think that we could get lower, well, why couldn't we bleed out and then close this out at 133.52? But it's not going to give it to you all at once. It's going to bounce. Then you got to get out because it's going to go back down to this level. So that's one way to play it. You just get your bounces where you can and then get out. But everyone has their own style of trading. So don't listen to me. I don't know. I have no clue about anything except my own stuff. All right. That's snow. So I'm done there. I'm going to go back to the 5. And I want to go over Sqqq. Sqqs. I did a dumb move today, which I will explain in just a moment. And first, I want to go over the price target. It's hard to see, but we ended the day right here, 35.17. On the 5, to the north side, 36.54. That's 2 standard deviations. That is your outlier to sell. Another sell point, potentially. 37.46, don't hold your breath, but if we do, it will sell off. 38.39. To the south side, oh, now I'm not going to mark it. Well, I will mark it because it's going to get cluttered, but I'll explain what all these lines are. Oh, wait a minute. I got to turn off the magnet. See, this covers, I can't do it because I got to show you what trade I made. All right, it overlaps the line, so I can't do that. But, oops. There, just in case I move something I should have moved. Command Z to undo. All right, the middle of the trend is basically right here, 34.70, 75-ish. Okay, to the south side, another level of support, 32.84, 31.92, and don't hold your breath, $31. There's a gap to the south side that needs to be filled. This landmine, watch out for it. That landmine will be a potential buy-in area for me. I like that, but I like it even lower if we get there. All right, so this is down here. What is this? 30.96-ish, if I didn't say it. 31.94-ish. And this used to be the middle of the trend, and it is no longer. So ignore that. So what happened is I got so sick of looking this because I did not get out of this ticker. I bought in at 34.70. I'm like, okay, if I break even, I'll just get out. Well, not only did we break even, but we went up some. And I sold out at 34.75 for a ridiculous 0.14% return, which was better than just breaking even. So I'm like, I'm just going to get out. But right after I got out, it went to right here. So on the day, SQQQ, we went up, 8%, but I think it was more even. But yeah, I could have made not 0.14%, but at least it would have been this line here. The wick, for me, it would have been, only 1.36% from here. But at the end of the day, well, what the heck? Okay, so from the high price point that I bought it, it would have only been 2.56%. But the day started, Thursday started, Wednesday, that's Thursday right here. So right here is the low point. So from here to today's high of 35.59. What the heck? Why is that an 8? 35.59 is 7.2, and that says 8.1. Did we go? No, I think that's the low. That makes no sense to me. Okay, close enough. I'm going to say it's up 8% because I'm going to trust TradingView in that one and not me. All right, let me delete that so I don't confuse myself when I look back. So that was a bad move, but at least I broke even. I got out. I was sick of looking at it. That's the problem. When you micromanage, it's not good. When you let your tickers have room to breathe sometimes, it's a better move typically. All right, so then the next move I made, 2 moves today. I have some dividends at 30.25. Okay, I got paid out. So I'm like, I want to get rid of this. I don't want this anymore. And I don't know if we're going to go to these levels, although SQQs goes up. If the economy is down, this thing goes up. If this is down, that means the economy is up. It's the reverse, the inverse. So I don't know if we're going to get there. I didn't care. I wanted to get out. So this one, for me, since I got in here at 30.25, I sold out at 35.20 for a return of 16.36%. So nothing here and a little bit of something there. So that's good. And then this one, I'm going to delete this, but I'm going to show you what happened here at this 27.70 that I marked out for myself. Because I'm done with this, so that I know from just looking at this, I no longer own this. I no longer own this. I've color coded my chart so that I now know exactly when I look at this in the big picture what is going on. So this to me was a buy-in area, but it really wasn't. I had put in a buy order back on January the 31st of 2025 for 27.70. Look at this. Right here is where I did it. And my account didn't give it to me. Right here. We went even lower and it didn't fill. I was so upset. It sucked. Anyway, I could have made some money off of that trade and it did not work out. So I'm going to just delete this because it didn't happen, but I just wanted to show you. And if you like to journal, this is something equivalent to that, but I don't journal, so I don't care. And I'm not here to talk about feelings. You gotta be just like a robot when you do these mechanical trades. Don't get caught up with your emotions. Oops. Because we've all been there. Okay, so this went down to 28.01, no longer in play, no longer a threat to our account. And then we went down even more. Okay, and it's been a while since I've cleaned this up. So this here touched on roughly February the 4th, taking us down to 29.06. And this one touched right here, taking us to 28.70-ish. This one also touched, taking us to 30.50. Well, I'll pull that out in just a moment. This one touched to the downside, taking us to 30.42. This one touched right here at roughly 31.84. I mean, if you can just follow a couple of tickers that are actively traded, you know, and with the probability of these gaps to close to the upside or downside, it increases the chances of you hitting the trade. 28.03. Look at this. I mean, it's been forever since I've looked at this. 29.22, and as we know, the market is bleeding out. Trump is doing a bunch of things. He's cleaning house, which I love. Yeah, the market's tanking, but he's going to make Powell bend and bring interest rates down. That's what's going to happen. 30.66. 31.21, and all the waste and fraud is so disgusting to me. Disgusting. Oh my goodness. And why wouldn't you want waste and fraud to stop? 30.76. The status quo doesn't work. This is my money, our money, bleeding out. It's like the HOA wasting our money on stupid stuff and then blame it on everyone else for having no money. Gosh darn it. See, you have to grab this at a certain spot or it gets wonky right there. All right, that touched right there to the north side at 31.30. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. I'll clean this up on my own. I've traded this many times in the past. All the way down here. Look at this. And there was a split of some kind, and I don't remember because all of a sudden I just feel like I woke up and this thing was in the 25s and 30s. It was crazy. But the 52-week low is 26.21. The high is 64.95, which is nuts to me. Okay, so that's the Sqqqs, and the last one I want to go over is Soxl. Did I already do that? Wait a minute, I think I did. But I'm loving this one. Yeah, I did. What the heck? Okay, so that was, what did I do? ADM. I did Snow, Soxl, and Sqqqs, but if I didn't, there are your targets. Okay, one more time because I've gone off on a side tangent. Roughly 17.99, middle of the trend. Oops, unlock that. Got sticky fingers here. And then down, well, up from where we are, 21.56, but not quite down from the closure of that gap is what I was trying to say. Okay, that does it for me. Oh, here, I just want to show you what the day looked like. Microsoft down 1.03%, Nvidia down 5.74%, AVGO, Amazon 3.68%, Tesla 5.61%, Meta 4.35%. It cracks me up that people are so upset at Elon for finding waste. Cracks me up. Where is the common sense? All right, and Meta down 4.35%. Lots of red across the board with some peppering in of some green. All right, now I am officially done. Have a great trading day.